Hey everyone, Oil Yum here, answering your 7.3 Powerstroke questions. And you have to take me seriously. I'm sitting authoritatively in front of a toolbox. Hey guys, before we get into the video, I wanted to talk to you about this video sponsor, Better... No, I'm kidding. I got like 10 subscribers. Nobody's sponsoring anything. What I wanted to say is stick with me through these early videos as I get things going. I still have a lot of cool stuff I want to show you. I have a whole introductory video on this truck, which took me several years to build, and it's got a lot of cool specs, that kind of stuff. We have the whole Excursion thing that I got to go through. I want to do a tour of my workshop. Fun fact, this where I'm standing about 3 years ago was dirt floor. If these videos go well, I do have my eye on a 6-liter Powerstroke that I kind of want to do a compound turbo setup on. Bulletproof it, all that kind of fun stuff. It's quad cab dually. I've got this whole engine to rebuild too. We're going to do a stock 4R100 build. We'll probably need to do a performance 4R100 build for this truck once I roast the trans that's currently in it anytime now. So anyway, stick with me. Let's get back to the video. Okay, let's first start off with a disclaimer. I'm in my 30s, I have a wife and children, I have businesses and a mortgage. My answers may not be your answers. If daddy has tools and mama has a driveway and you're young, maybe some of these things I'll mention aren't gonna bother you. I'm not here to hype you up or sell you shit or influence you. So let's dip into the question, shall we? Should I get a 7.3 as a daily driver? I have 3. I daily mine 50-50 whether or not you should. It really depends on what you're doing. If you've got your eye on a low mileage, real clean, well-maintained 7.3, well, one, you're probably paying the same amount you would for, a 10-year-old truck in the same condition rather than a 25-year-old truck. If it's not that kind of a truck, and high miles, rust is starting to eat away at it, questionable maintenance records, and you're going to use it for your business or something that you're going to rely on every day, maybe think it over. Enter any truck that you see people posting about this worth it? Probably not. I mean, people ask this stuff all the time. Is a 300,000 mile truck that has a salvage title, been in an accident, restored by Billy Bob, who now wants $9,500 for it? Is it worth it? Come on. You know the answer to that. What else? Why is the 7.3 so reliable? I think easy answer is overbuilt and underpowered. I'm rebuilding my engine. Do I need an aftermarket cam or crank? No. If you're building like a race motor or sled pulling rig or something like that, first of all, you're not coming to me or coming to YouTube at all for the answer to that question. You're working alongside a shop. If you're rebuilding a motor because it's got high mileage and you want to build a cool motor, probably put your money elsewhere than a cam. You're not going to get a big lopey sound like you would out of a big cam in a gas car. It's not the same. I heard guys talk about 7.3s having weak bottom ends. They use the stock crankshaft in 1,000, 2,000 horsepower motors. So your stock crank is definitely fine. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Speaking of engine building, if you are going to build an engine and you're replacing all your bearings, note, now you may know this, when I first started, I didn't know this. If you're going to get new pin bushing for your connecting rods, these come in like a stock size and would have to be taken to a machine shop to fit your piston pin. So just be aware of that. Also note, they came with 2 different connecting rods throughout the years. They had PMR and forged. And the PMRs here were known to be weaker. You can tell if you have them or not because the PMRs will have a bolt and the forged will have a stud and a nut. Oh, and one more thing. If you're going to get billet stuff, get it where it counts, where you actually need the strength. I swear, a machinist could cut down a piece of billet into a dog turd, anodize it in a couple of different colors, sell it online, and shortly thereafter retire. Note to self, get CNC machine. You don't need a billet H-pop reservoir cap. Billet torque converter. There you go. Billet flex plate. Hey, now you're talking. Is the 7.3 a good first vehicle? Well, on one hand, they're kind of slow for the most part, and they're pretty comfortable and could be roomy, depending on what you get. Again, I guess it comes to mechanical aptitude and what you want to do with it. How to get more reliable power out of mine on a budget. Wastegate, Banks Big Head Wastegate is probably a good one. Tuner, boost fooler. Banks has a monster exhaust system with the power elbow. It's probably a pretty good option too. And then injectors. It might be enough to start putting your 4R100 on life support. There's also about 10 other things you should probably do before, during, alongside, soon after, all of that. What else? Is it okay to buy a high mileage truck? Do you want something maintenance free? The answer is yes, then no. If it's the opposite, then it's the opposite. If your girlfriend wants you to come over, but you can't because you're trying to diagnose a 3/4 hard shifting issue, and you're trying to tell yourself, it's not the trains, it can't be. If that sounds like a fine Saturday afternoon, then by all means. The 7.3 is a fantastic motor. There's a reason you're watching this video, and I'm taking the time to make it for you. There's a reason why there's a cult following on these vehicles. But one thing that people don't seem to understand is, yes, the 7.3 is wonderful. 300, 400, 500,000 mile motor, million miles, it can do it. Everything around it, everything around the 7.3 isn't the 7.3. So if you keep that in mind, it might make you happier in the long run. On the topic of engine building too, you can pick up engines on Marketplace. I do it all the time. Now, sometimes they come with injectors, sometimes they don't. But the amount of motors that I've bought for $200, $100, $400 that have a set of injectors in them already with decent looking O-rings, the injectors themselves are a $500 core. Speaking of injectors, if you're a guy on Facebook Marketplace that has old, used, unknown miles, oily, sludgy injectors asking $500 or $600, no one is buying them and you're embarrassing yourself. And if someone is in a bind so much that they're coming to Marketplace needing to replace an injector or two or a set, don't gouge the poor guy. So if you buy yourself a used motor for $500 and it comes with a set of injectors, well, you just got yourself a set of cores. I've got like 32 injectors lying around here just for the day when I need them for cores. You're also going to need a really heavy-duty engine stand, because if you try and reuse the one you were building your 2JZ motor on, you're going to see the thing banana and it's going to get really sketchy. You have all these strong opinions, but you have multiple 7.3s. Ignorance is bliss sometimes, I suppose, and you got to do what you love. And if you love the platform, I've loved these platforms, the sound, the looks of them, the styling. I've loved it since I was 12, 13 years old. To be able to get my hands on one, I bought the worst one you could ever want. And it took me 3 years to get it running. And it's still not licensed or plated. It's the black one that you may have seen on the channel. I had to touch every single nut and bolt on that truck. And it took me years. The price on replacement parts for most of the replacement parts aren't that bad. Parts are plentiful. There's multiple manufacturers making them. But if you want something that your kids can hop in and start up and drive away, or if your wife wants to get in and it's been sitting outside and it's 0 degrees and it hasn't been plugged in or anything else like that, and maybe the glow plugs are a little tired, or maybe you got that relay wiring issue that you just can't figure out yet, so maybe not all of them are firing up. They may not be able to just turn the key and go on their merry way. These are things to think about. Should I get an aftermarket drop-in turbo like one for KC or a T4 setup? If money isn't an option, probably the T4. You'll have a lot of turbo options. The turbos themselves will be cheaper. The kits to swap over for a T4, they're pretty expensive. At least the last time I looked. And KC Turbos is making some killer drop-ins. Probably 90% of anybody watching this would be happy with one of their drop-ins. Speaking of KC, looking at getting a KC Turbo, wanted to know if I should get a stock plus stage 1, 2, etc. Depends on what you want to do. KC's Turbo's website and their YouTube channel has a lot of good information about what turbo would be good for what application to distill it. If you're just driving the truck on the street and to work and on the weekends and stuff, a stock plus or maybe a stage 1 would probably be just fine. The bigger turbo doesn't mean more fun and more power necessarily. It depends on your application. And if you put some big hankin' turbo in your truck and wondering why you can't build any boost, and it doesn't ever spool up while you're driving your wife's cookies over to grandma's house on the weekend, it doesn't put a smile on anyone's face. So it's really important to get the right turbo for what you want and not try and let ego enter things. Okay, I'm done talking. We'll see you in the next one.